No, Southern legislators are not okay this week. And in fact, I have stress breakage in my hair. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain the impact of the Supreme Court gutting the Voting Rights Act and what this means for Tennessee, and how I need you all to give up whatever you're doing the next few months and join the fight to not even take back, because Tennessee is an electoral autocracy at this point, but to preserve the crumbs that have been left to us by this supermajority and this regime. So the Voting Rights Act, passed in 1965, was a landmark federal statute that ensured Black voters were not racially discriminated against as voters. Plaintiffs, so Black voters or organizations representing Black voters, could sue two ways. One, if the maps just looked racially deceitful, okay? And two, if they could prove the intent of politicians. Now, I don't live in the mind of any of the Republican leadership in the state. I wouldn't want to. But what happened, the Supreme Court basically said the only way is to prove intent of the politicians, which leaves a lot of ambiguity. And in a federal administration that it has neutered any enforcement mechanism to ensure that Black voters receive the necessary representation that they deserve, the federal government and our state government is oppositional to that idea. So what does this mean for Tennessee? Tennessee has one democratically controlled congressional district. Nashville had a congressional district until the Republicans said, you know what, we're gonna split it into three. Of which I decided to run for one of those seats and moved the district 13 points while Trump spent $7.5 million against me. Should have been a reason to say, hey, slow down, guys. What are we doing here? No, they have no shame. They have no shame. So Grandma Gone Wild, Marsha Blackburn, decides to go on Fox News and calls for a special session in Tennessee to eliminate the congressional district we have left, Memphis. Ma'am, it's a 65% Black. And you want to get rid of it with your fourth grade little whatever map you drew in your mind? So what's going to happen the next few months? President Trump spoke with Governor Lee today, and apparently the conversation went swell. I'm hearing that there is a 50% chance that a special session is called before August. They will, in an election year, will try to bring us back to the legislature and pass this diabolical excuse for a map to dilute the last vestige of Black voting power this state has. So right now, what I need you all to do is you all need to show up wherever they are. You all need to make their lives miserable for the next few months, and to ensure that you are using every lever that you have. And so that means organizing the people around them, right? It means making sure that they are embarrassed when they walk out of their house for even thinking that this is a feasible solution. Those of us that are organizers are trying to figure out what the coherent campaign looks like to ensure this doesn't happen. If it does happen, that's a conversation for another day. But what really bothers me, this is a moment where I need 10,000 Tennesseans to show up in downtown Nashville. I was incredibly sad because the last week of session, I looked up at the balcony of the House chamber when we were passing some of the worst immigration bills this state and country has seen. I looked up and I saw one person. So what is it going to take to radicalize you? What is it going to take to agitate your neighbors and the people around you to step up and fight for our state, fight for our country? Yes, this is about Memphis, and Memphis always mattered, and it matters even more. Nashville, we have to show solidarity with our Memphian brothers and sisters right now. We got our congressional district taken away from us. That's exactly what's about to happen to them. So please stay tuned. I'm sorry I'm not being friendly because I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Don't invite me to any of your parties because I am the least fun person right now, because this is all I think about, and I'm grateful to be in this position, but we are so far beyond the point of return, and whatever project this is over, and we have to build what comes next. But right now we've got to show up for Black voters in Tennessee. We've got to show up for our Black communities, because we would have nothing good in this country without Black Americans.